Have you ever stopped to think about what makes someone a real leader? I'm not talking about a manager or just a boss, but someone that people genuinely want to follow. Well, today we're going to dig into the core ideas from John C. Maxwell's classic book on exactly that, the essential qualities that define true leadership. So this is our guide right here. We're going to unpack some of the book's most powerful stories and lessons to really get to the bottom of what it takes to be the kind of leader who doesn't just give orders, but inspires real action and loyalty.
And this quote, this is really the heart of the entire book. It's the big idea we're going to keep coming back to. True effective leadership isn't something you can just fake, you know? It's not a suit you put on for work. It has to come from who you are on the inside.
So if it all starts on the inside, what does that actually mean? Well, Maxwell's whole point is that a lot of the time, we're looking in all the wrong places when we try to figure out what leadership is all about.
It's got less to do with mastering some fancy techniques or memorizing management theories from a textbook. It's really about the fundamental stuff, the qualities that make up your character. Who you are as a person is directly tied to how effective you'll be as a leader.
All right, so here's our roadmap. We're going to cover 4 key areas. We'll kick things off with the absolute foundation, the bedrock of character. Then we'll move into connecting with others, followed by the courage to act. And finally, we'll tie it all together with how to become the leader people really want to follow.
First up, the most important piece of the puzzle, character. Maxwell is crystal clear on this. This is the foundation everything else is built on. And if it's not solid, the whole structure will eventually just crumble. To really drive this home, the book tells this incredible story about Bill Lear. So imagine this. 2 of his brand new Lear jets crash, and no one knows why. He didn't even hesitate. He grounded his entire fleet, all 55 jets. I mean, can you imagine the cost, the PR nightmare? But he did it to find the flaw and protect his customers. And get this, he even had to personally fly a jet and recreate the dangerous conditions just to pinpoint the problem. As the book puts it, he was willing to risk everything but his integrity. And that's the key, right? A crisis doesn't build character, it reveals it. And Bill Lear's character was rock solid. So what exactly is character? Well, it's not some talent you're born with. It's a choice. It's really just the sum of all the little decisions you make, day in and day out, especially those tough ones when you think no one's watching. And the best part is, you can work on it, you can build it. Maxwell lays out 4 pretty simple steps. First, you got to be honest with yourself and search for the cracks. Second, look for patterns in your behavior. Third, you have to face the music and take responsibility. And finally, you rebuild, with a plan to make sure you don't make those same mistakes again.
Okay, so you have that internal foundation of character locked down. Now what? How do leaders actually interact with the world? That brings us to our second big quality, charisma.
Now, a lot of people think charisma is some kind of magical dust you're either born with or you're not. But Maxwell argues that's just not true. It's a skill you can learn. And the secret? It's surprisingly simple. Just shift your focus from yourself onto other people.
The book uses this brilliant story from history to make the point. It looks at 2 political rivals from 19th century Britain, Prime Ministers William Gladstone and Benjamin Disraeli.
So there was a young woman who had dinner with both of them on back-to-back nights, and she described the difference perfectly. After her dinner with Gladstone, she left thinking to herself, wow, he is the most clever man in all of England.
But after she had dinner with Disraeli the next night, she left thinking, wow, I am the cleverest woman in England. See the difference? That is the essence of true charisma. Gladstone impressed people with how great he was. Disraeli made people feel great about themselves, and that's what drew them to him.
So, what gets in the way of developing that? Well, these 5 things are huge roadblocks. Pride makes you focus on yourself. Insecurity just makes other people uncomfortable. Moodiness pushes people away. And perfectionism and cynicism, they can just suck the energy right out of a room.
So, you've got solid character, and you know how to connect with people. But that's still not enough. A leader has to actually act. They have to have the courage to take a dream and turn it into reality.
Maxwell asks this exact question, and his answer boils down to just one word: commitment. That's the quality that builds the bridge between having an idea and actually making it happen. Just think about Michelangelo. He was a sculptor, not a painter. But when he was told to paint the Sistine Chapel, he committed 100%. He spent 4 agonizing years on his back, in terrible conditions, and even permanently damaged his eyesight, all to create a masterpiece.
And this is the real key to his commitment. Someone asked him why he was putting so much effort into a dark corner that no one would ever be able to see clearly. His answer was simple: God will see. His commitment wasn't about what other people thought. It was about his own internal standard of excellence.
But that kind of commitment takes another crucial ingredient: courage. So what is real courage anyway? It's something we often misunderstand.
The legendary pilot Eddie Rickenbacker, the American ace of aces, absolutely nailed it. He said, "Courage isn't the absence of fear." Rickenbacker freely admitted he was scared every single time he flew into combat. Courage is doing what you're afraid to do. It's feeling that fear and taking action anyway.
And this is how it all comes full circle. The journey to becoming a leader really is an inside-out process. It starts with that bedrock of character, it builds outward with your ability to connect with others, and it's finally put into motion by the commitment and the courage to act.
And that leaves us with one final powerful question from the book. If leadership is something that develops daily, not in a day, and if your life truly expands in proportion to your courage, then what is the one courageous step you're going to take today to become the leader you want to be?